Welcome to Here for the Horses. Glad you're here for the horses. We're going to have a super fun Zoom call tonight. I am going to go through the book that we're working through right now. And here's Carol. And y'all know that it's this one. Okay, we're doing Equine Structural Integration Myofascial Release Manual. So we're going to finish up some of the strokes that we didn't finish up last time. And then we're going to talk about, I'm going to talk about our homework for this week, and it'll be for next week before then. And then we're going to take a look at some photos, and I am going to put some people on the spot and have them tell me what they see. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you what I see. And then we'll get a game plan going. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that. Okay. So let's do that. Homework. Let me share the screen here. Homework for this week. Whoop, better let Wanda in first. Okay. Hi, Wanda. Hi, Carol. I don't know if I said hi, Carol, yet. All right, share screen here. This is our homework for the week. Is that it? That's it. Okay. Bring a friend to journey through the horse. Okay, bring a friend. So your job is to invite someone. Now that could mean someone you ride with, someone at your barn, someone you know, trainer, a friend. They can be obviously anywhere in the country because, right, that's what we're all doing right now. So I want you guys, Jenny's here. Hi, Jenny. I want you guys to invite a friend this week and next week. We're going to be starting February 9th on Journey Through the Horse. Okay, February 9th. So just let them know. But if they already have the clinic, then they're good to go. If they need the clinic, they can get it from me. And there's a ton of links on my Facebook, and you could give them one of those. And then they'll get into the coaching group and they can kind of look around for a little while and get used to it and maybe take a look at the clinic and get their password set up and all that. And then we will begin on February 9th, and that'll just be a brief overview of what we're going to do. We'll talk about kind of how it goes. I don't even remember how long the last one went that we did. I didn't bother counting. So but we'll kind of let them know how it goes, and then they can take a look at the coaching group and see how that runs. Okay, so your homework for this week and next week is to bring a friend to journey through the horse. It'll be fun to have someone to talk about things with too. Okay. Oh, I got something stuck in my throat. I'm gonna cough sneeze. Sorry. Okay. That's the one thing. Next thing we're going to talk about the book. We're going to finish up some of the strokes today that we didn't get to yesterday or last week. I'm going to talk about some of the areas and then how he wants you to do it. There are a lot of similarities, so you guys are already going to be professionals at this, okay? And as you saw, for the videos that you guys are submitting, I'm not going to do voiceovers on them because as I was doing that, I was like, this isn't my info. Like, I can't do a voiceover on something that's not mine because I don't know if you're doing it wrong. So, but everyone was doing a great job. And I like watching the interactions. So I won't be doing voiceovers, but we can all kind of watch what we see what works, and then kind of make comments as we go. Hi, Carrie. Carrie made it.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay, so we left off with skin rolling and compression. Okay. And Leanne, was it you that said somebody didn't like skin rolling?
I did it on all the horses, and Mystic Knight was the most reactive to it and just sidestepping away from me as far as she could go. I didn't post another video, but when I was on the other side, you know how she likes to do her little Spanish walk? I was doing the skin roll on her shoulder, and she started doing the Spanish walk, and then it set Rose off barking. It was chaotic, but it was funny that for some reason when I was doing that on her shoulder, she was like, "Oh, I'll just start this walk," and it was hilarious. But that side she didn't move away, but the one side I mean, she was like 6 feet away from me in seconds.
Yeah. Okay. And then Marge, you said that your horses didn't like the skin roll too. One of them,
Yeah,
Zanzibar.
they weren't much of a fan for that.
Yeah. So that's super normal. Skin roll isn't really all that comfortable. It's just effective. Okay. So, I mean, I just did a video a little while ago where I did a skin roll on it wasn't technically a skin roll. I call it the Vulcan death grip. Okay. Because I grabbed the skin and I held it in my hand and I squeezed it. And then what I do is I have the skin in my hand, whether it's like this or like this, you know, like I pinch it like that. And then I will roll my hand so I start to pull it up off the body. Okay, it's similar. So a skin roll, you kind of like roll it like a cigarette, and then you move along the skin and you roll it, and then you roll it back the other way, right? Like you're rolling a big cigar. So instead of doing that, I grab the skin and I just gently pull it off the body. That's what works for me. If I have a large area, I will do it this way, where you're rolling it. Okay. So that's just another variation. Hello, Courtney. Glad you're here.
Hello.
Hi. So that's that. But when I do, and I literally call it the Vulcan death grip because they all go, oh my gosh. Okay. So I'll grab the skin, I put it in my hand, and I slightly just start rolling my knuckles. Okay. And then they go, oh my gosh. And then I give it back to them and then I rub them and relax that fascia. And then I do it again and that skin is soft. And a lot of time it's on the scapula. Okay. So you can try that. It's just a variation. And no, they don't really like it. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about a couple more we got going on. This one's called tissue testing. Okay. This is interesting. It says, engage the fascia at the depth you want to be working by slowly sinking down. Then take fascia through all possible directions of movement. Okay. So you can do like a little Catholic cross thing or whatever they do. Make sure you are in the fascia and not the skin. Okay, so you do have to sink down into the fascia to make sure you can feel that. Okay, there will be some directions that will move easily and some that have little resistance to them or have resistance to them. These resisted directions are called barriers. Okay. Either way, once a barrier has been removed, tissue test again to find out the next barrier. Okay, so we do this already, don't we? Right? We already do this, but we're just not as specific because what is this movement on the horse? We're feeling. Anytime you're bringing information into your fingers, you're tissue testing. Okay, so I'm saying, you know, that can be skin, but if it's like, it's very unlikely that the skin is going to move or the skin's not going to move and the fascia is going to move and vice versa. Okay, so anytime you're working on your horse's face and you feel that something isn't moving, that is very similar to what he's saying here, a tissue test. He's just saying, like, go all directions and see if you have a hang up. Okay, we do this on the ears. We grab the ears and we go forward, backward, left, right. We do this on the tail, don't we? We already do this. So, I mean, I like that he's specific, right? Intentional. He's being very intentional. We're kind of doing it because we already do it. As you massage more, you're going to find that your hand, I've seen almost all of you do it. Your hand goes to a particular spot and then goes, well, that doesn't feel right. That's the same thing. Okay. Your hand is telling you this spot doesn't feel good. It doesn't move right. Okay. So bending, for lack of a better term, I call this technique bending. You can visualize this technique by thinking about how you bend a green stick to break. There are two components, bending compression. In bending compression, we're applying the force away from our body. And bending distraction. Bending distraction is the opposite component of bending compression. It creates a stretch on the side we are facing, breaking those adhesions. Okay, we do this also. Does anyone know what affection we do? Okay, I got you, Leanne. What affection specifically we do that? And he actually used the same
The
picture.
range of motion on the neck.
Range of
So
motion on the neck is
on
one
this
for
side,
sure.
It's on the other side. And then also even all your leg stretches, all of those range of
Leg
motion.
a little bit, yeah, definitely. There's one real specific one. So there's one where you're pushing and then one where you're pulling. We'll be talking about it today. That's right. It's the crest. Crest pull. Crest pull. Okay? Because remember, what do we have? We have the crest pull, so you're pushing and pulling. And then we have this one, right? The crest roll and crest ring. Oh my gosh, we have all of them. Same thing. Okay? Cross fiber friction. We don't need to talk about that, right? We know cross fiber friction pretty well. All right, so those are the strokes that he uses, and he goes into quite a bit of detail. All right. Okay, so then he wants to talk about the general approach to body work, the head, atlanto-occipital release, frontal bone circles, sweeping the front bone, atlanto-occipital sweep, so AO is what he calls it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about these first. General approach. Any alarm reaction to a part of the horse is caused to stop and try another approach. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, if your horse doesn't like it, try something else. That's what that means. So if they don't like soft, try hard. If they don't like either one of those, try slapping. Okay, same thing. Let them process what you're doing because it will be completely new to them. What does that mean? Take a break. Take breaks. Okay, if it's new to them, take breaks. I love this, that he brings this up because this is so true. Sometimes the horse will react to the memory of an old sensation rather than to your work. We all know that. We all know that. That's in horsemanship too, right? Okay. So a great example is ill-fitting saddle. Okay. Horses can become very off or lame because of an ill-fitting saddle, and you can put a new fitting saddle on them and they're still off. Okay. They can also have negative reactions to your work because of past treatment. So we just replace those with good ones. We figure it out. Okay. He says, keep two hands on the horse while you're working. This provides a good magnetic, energetic, and electric connection between the two of you. That was also taught in equine massage. I'm not super good at it, I'll be honest with you. It is definitely something you want to try to do. So sometimes I just get a little lazy, but you do want to try to keep two hands on the horse. More connection. Okay. He also talks about, he likes to start with the head because, well, there are a couple opinions I have about this, and most of you know them, but he says, I like to start with the horse's head when I work, specifically the AO region, okay, the atlanto-occipital. Starting here gives me a chance to meet the horse at a place on its own body that has been handled a lot, okay? And that's a plus or a minus, isn't it? Depend on how it's been handled, okay? The sensation of myofascial release is new to the horse, and I'm a new person to that horse. Initially, they don't know if I'm there to help them or not. Also, the head, I like that he said initially because they figure it out really quick. Also, the head is far from the business end of the you-know-what. Haven't had a lot of problems with that, to be honest with you. Really haven't in 15 years. They don't kick at you too much, okay? They might bite at you. I think have I been bit at more? Probably. I mean, no, definitely. Definitely. That's why I'm always telling you guys to keep a hand on the halter. I've definitely been bit at more. Because that's how what do they normally do to other horses if they're close? They're kind of lazy animals, right? They'd rather bite a horse than kick a horse. Okay. Maybe if they're at their hind end, they'll kick at them. Okay. He says, I can better gauge the reaction of the horse to my work as well as the handler's reaction to the horse. We talked about handlers last week. I prefer not. While the head is normally handled, halters and bridles on and off is not a place where people seem to relate to the horse. This is a shame since it's a place that the horses love to have handled correctly. That's a fact. Okay. They definitely like to have it handled correctly. I do disagree to a point though, and I've talked about this before, is that if I have a horse that is extremely defensive of their head, has been mishandled, has a lot of tension in their head, doesn't want their ears touched, if the first thing the owner says to me is they're really head shy, I don't start at the head. I'll go right to the rump. We'll be friends back there. Okay. And you'll win them like that. Quick. Go to the shoulder, right? Where do horses normally scratch each other? Their shoulders. Find somewhere where you can make a connection with the horse and be like, hey, how are you today? Excellent. And then by the time you get up to the head, they're like, do whatever. Do whatever. I've had 10, 15, I've had probably 4 people straight tell me, you will not be able to touch this horse's ears. Okay. I've touched every single one of them within that hour. Every single one. I have never not been able to work on a horse's ears. Never once in my entire career. Okay. So they might not be able to still. I don't know. But I every time. Never stop me. Now I don't go in like that because I truly believe that owners know their horses better than anybody else. But by the time I get up there, I've already found stuff that's made them feel better. So I'm like a different person to them. I also set up a herd mentality that I am in charge. I'm a nice boss, but I am actually in charge. Okay. So that helps also because they don't know me from anyone. So if you introduce a new horse into a group, okay, they have to figure out, is this new horse going to be in charge, or are they going to be in the bottom, or where are they going to drop? And so that's when all the stuff, you're like, oh gosh, please no. Okay, that's when all that happens. Well, I can do that without having to bite and kick. It's fine. Okay. So just establish that right off the bat. Calm, confident, quiet leader. They'll be like, okay, oh, she makes me feel good too. Right on. We'll let her in. Okay. So I agree with those general rules. Here's one for you though, you guys. This is wild to me. Okay, he says, when you're in front of the horse, keep one of your feet on their closest foot. If they decide to strike out, not at you, but at the sensation they're having, you'll get a warning when that foot moves. He says, I can't overemphasize the benefit of this head work has for the horse. Okay, so he's saying when you're working in the front of the horse, you're going to keep one of your feet on the horse's front foot. Like, I'll tell you what, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. I'm not doing that. That really seems odd to me. I'm actually going to try it. That should be that's our homework this week too. We're all going to try that and see what happens. Do not come to me with a cast on your foot next time you come out here. Okay, that seems wildly odd to me. I don't need, we have been so practicing cues to pick up on that why would they strike out at you?
But if you were standing in front of them, their head's going to come up before their foot goes.
Their head's going to knock you out. And I talk about that. That's for sure.
I read that in his book and I thought, no way. No way am I doing that.
No. Oh, very odd. Very odd. I'd be interested to like see a picture of it.
Maybe he's 6 feet. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he's got really long legs. Got long legs too. So yeah, it's interesting. That was one thing. I mean, I haven't disagreed with a couple things. This one's definitely one of those. Most of them that I've disagreed on, I've just been like, I can see what they're saying, but
I'm like, well, here's the menu. We start reading.
Okay, so let's talk about the atlanto-occipital release or the AO release. Okay, I'm going to show you a picture. It's not a great picture. Okay. So he's working the pole is what people call that. I call it upper neck to pole. Okay. And he's just saying to circles and pull. All right. So circles and pull. And you're looking for restrictions in the fascia. So he's saying tissue test with it. See where the restriction is. Okay. And then he likes to follow it back from the front. He compares this to people who sit at computers too much. Horses have a lot of tension up in this area. Most of us know that. Okay. And then he also go down that throat latch area. Okay. Frontal bone circles. You know what's funny is I did this on, this is a horrible picture. You're not going to be able to see what it is. That's a horse's forehead, okay? So it's those two, it's the two bulbs. I'm probably screaming in this microphone. Okay, it's the two bulbs right here. And he does circles on them. Okay, so we do that too. Okay. Frontal bone circles. And he likes to do a C shape. So we'll, you can try that, see if it gives you anything more. Okay. He goes, use the cushion of your fingers and not don't pointy, right? We're going to make it feel good. Oh, I was going to say, Georgia didn't like that. I did this one on Georgia. So that's fine. Okay. Sweeping the frontal bone. Okay. Thumbs together, pull them apart. And he says you do have to sink into the fascia. Okay, there's only skin and fascia there on the forehead. There's like two muscles that kind of go across, but he's like right in between the horse's eyes. I don't know if you can see the eye is right there above his finger, right there.
And
So
stepping
he's
on
in
his leg.
between the eyes.
And stepping on his leg. Don't forget that.
What's that? No.
Step horse's foot on its leg.
Yeah. And then reach your foot underneath and touch the front of the toe. I don't know. Okay. Oh, and then the AO sweep, which is the same thing. So tissue test the AO first. So back here and then sweep. So down there. This one was kind of cool. I just did a video on this today. I think this sparked my video. The sweeping the zygomatic. Oh yeah, because I have a video of a horse. I started working the zygomatic, which is just the bone. Okay, the bone that sticks out there. And the horse was like, so many blinking. Okay, so this would have definitely helped that horse because that's kind of how I got it to go away. And he says to sweep upward. He does talk about the nerves in the face though, and he seems concerned that you have to be careful. I don't know of too many people who are too aggressive when doing face work, so I haven't noticed that as a problem. But he also says like you should not be pushing directly and like no deep pressure on the face. That makes sense, right? I don't know if we do that. There's nothing there to, you go right into the bone. So he's saying don't pinch the nerve by pressing too hard. But I feel like a lot of times when you tell people, like I say, gently grab the horse's ear at the base, and I've stopped saying that. I now say firmly grab, because when I say gently grab, they go, okay, like this. And I'm like, oh no, like lot harder than that. I don't want people going in there crazy, but, and then also that whole thing that we were teaching young people, be careful of the horse's frog. We do not need to be careful of that horse's frog when we're picking their feet out, man. Have at it. Because what happens when you tell people that? They go, oh, is this okay? Oh, this frog? And they just do it like really soft and they never get the dirt out of the hoof. Okay, so we don't need to say, take it easy on the frog. See, like dig in there and get that dirt out of there. You're going to have some thrush. Okay. So, you know, don't make anything move weird. If there's a vein going across their body, don't dig into it. How about that? Okay. Mandible sweep is very similar. So same thing. You're going to go underneath there, right? I'm kind of skipping over a lot of these. Oh yeah. And then the masseter compression is similar to the work that we do on the jaw. He does it slower, more in a fascia thing. I mean, most of the jaw stuff that I run into is muscle issues, not a ton of fascia stuff, but they both go together, don't they? Right? So if you're going to work with one, you're going to work with the other. There's no way around it, unless it's the forehead. You could probably work with fascia and not muscle, but you're not going to work with muscle and not fascia. Okay. TMJ joint, very similar to what we already do. Okay. This was funny. I mean, out of the two of us, I'm going to have to say I stole this from him. Look what it's called. Him and I are both really up on super fancy names for things, right? It's a forelock and you pull it. Okay. Forelock pull. It's literally exactly what we do. Okay. That's why body work is pretty cool, because we could be talking about Masterson method and we're going to see a lot of similarities with Masterson method. We could be talking about shiatsu, which I've taken. Gary Whiting is a guy that does aggressive massage. Aggressive. I mean, to the point where when I learned it, I was like, I ain't got the fingernail beds for this. Like, I don't have the thumbs to do this. Because he finds these spots and he just goes at it with his thumbs. I bet he's been kicked out. I'll say that right now. I'll say that confidently. Because he was just okay, all over. But there's gonna be horses that love that too. And then there's gonna be some you're just gonna send them into orbit. Right? All right. You guys, I mean, I stole another one, I guess. Okay. So grab the ear. I talk about how I like to go in though, because I don't want you going in like this on the ear. I want you going in like this. Scoop it up. Grab it around the base. Do you see what that does to my face? Okay. So if I went in like this, what does that do? Look at all that. If I go in like this and I scoop it up and then I start closing in on it, look at that. Okay. So that's what I want to do. I want to squeeze the base. And the only way you get the base is you go in flat. And then you work your way up like an ice cream cone. You squeeze the ice cream cone. Okay. And then you do some circles every direction. You can go front, back, left, right, or you can do a circle and then go, where did that circle not want to be a circle? That's your tight area. Okay. And then this is taught quite often. Oh, it's 5:30. I want to move on. The ear sweep. We've all seen this one, right? Okay. I know that people are taught that a lot. I don't do this one as you guys have heard me say, where you go in the ear and sweep straight up. Okay, so we can try that this week. Let's try that this week. That's not in your clinic. And then he talks about the tip of the ear circles. See stroke on the tip of the ears. Now, I've heard of that from acupressure. Okay, that's a pretty common body work. I think Tellington might do it also. I don't think Masterson method does. Not 100% sure. He doesn't in his basic book, at least. Okay. Oh, and then, yeah, I don't need to go over these because these are easy. So mouth work, we did talk a little bit about that. Okay. Rita showed us that one. Rogue Rita. Okay. Just grab the lips. What do the lips say? Do they have a problem with their lips being touched? Because they shouldn't. Okay. Same thing with the nose. Same thing. You should be able to touch your horse's nose. They don't have to like it, Georgia, but you should be able to do it. Oh, didn't we do that once and we got some crazy reactions? Yeah, Sarah, right? Crazy. Some horses were just like, oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, that was it. Cool. Okay, and then next week we're going to talk, I'm going to pick some of the, so here's the nuchal ligament bending one where I was talking about the crest, right? So similar stuff, different modalities. It's all good. You guys have seen me do this one. This is the brachiocephalicus going down the neck into the shoulder. You see me? That's another Vulcan death grip right there. That'll get them. So we're gonna finish up this. I'll pick maybe some that I don't do. You know, because he's a little more technical on how he wants stuff done. So I'll pick, 5 or 6 for next week, and then we'll finish up. That'll be fun. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, cool. So I'm going to put some of my people on the line here. We're going to take a look at some photos. So Leanne and Sue, you guys are going to be up first. So let me share my screen. Leanne, I'll have you go first.
Okay.
What I'm going to have you guys do is share that. Oh, that's a homework, by the way, everyone. We could actually talk about this photo. I'll be honest with you. There's some stuff going on here. Look at that. That's tight, isn't it? Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at that booty though, too. That's real. That's Georgia Peach right there. But I am glad that the TFL is not pulling tight here, but this is fascia, right? Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. Okay. Facebook. Okay. I gotta take a look at those, Jenny. We're gonna take a look at Flash because he's fast. That's the only way I can say his name. Come on. There we go. So, Leanne, we're gonna talk about Flash's neck. Now let me find him here first. That video was hilarious. Little Mackie. I want, Leanne, you're going to talk about the photo with the, like, we'll call them stretch marks. And then Sue, you're going to talk about the other side. Okay, so I'll pull them up here if I can get to it. I don't want to make anyone sick.
Oh.
There we go.
The other one.
So there's one of them. Here we go. This is what I wanted. Okay, so Leanne, talk to us about this. Now, obviously, we see these. Okay, so you can mention those a little bit, what you think they are and what you would do to get them to go away. But I want you to tell me some more stuff about that also, about this side of the neck.
Okay. First of all, there's some bulging in the brachiocephalus there, so I would want that to be a little smoother and softer. The rhomboid up at the top is not a nice line, so there's some problems up in the crest there that you would want to work that and get that rhomboid more relaxed. I'm sure there's tension all, that spot where the hair is kind of lighter in front of the shoulder. So probably some shoulder work there and getting that loosened up, the serrate into the shoulder there. And obviously, I'm sure up here in the pole, he'd probably enjoy whatever you're going to do up there. So in spite of the, the marking on there, there's still just some unevenness, some dents, some bulging. It's not a smooth neck.
Excellent. Excellent. So this is the thing. Someone's eye is going to go, oh, look at all these squiggles, right? And they're going to go, that's tension. But take the squiggles away. Okay? Because there's other stuff going on here. And I love, Leanne, that the first thing you said was the brachiocephalicus. Because that's where my eye went, right here. This little sucker right here. Look at this line right here. Okay? So this muscle right here is bulging. And I guarantee you it's tight. I guarantee you it's tight. So that's the brachiocephalicus. There's a literal line right here. Remember, what do I say about it, how I want your horse to look?
Muscles that have lines.
Yep.
Fluffy.
Fluffy. Yep. Marshmallowy. Even the buff ones. Okay. So there's as you said, there's a couple things going on. And does anyone find it interesting that this is the squiggle pattern going down this way, and then whoops, this is a different squiggle pattern. So you have two different squiggle patterns here. Okay. The rhomboid up here is just sticking out a little bit. Okay. So that one's a little bit tight right here. And then this, so we think that this line right here is from the brachio, right? Because we got that brachio that's really tight here. It's not. It's from this triangular shaped one right here. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's from that one. So Stephanie, the neck work on this is going to be awesome. I mean, he's going to love it. It's everything you need. Okay?
What's interesting is that I did grab the muscle belly, and I've done that several times this week. I'm like, I did kind of concentrate on the neck, and I just don't get the releases that, he showed in his poll. The seri, he really, this was kind of cool. Like I did it 3 different times. The first time his breathing was irregular. Like, let me get my breath. And so I pushed on him again. And what's so cool is that when I'm pushing, he just pushes right back into me, and he pops my back, which is kind of cool. It feels so good. It's like, let's do this. Yes, yes. But then the third time I did it, that was when he released. A big release when I was, putting on the seri. I've tried to do the techniques that you spotted in the or listed in the clinic, where the 5 of them, where you hold up the crest, you're wringing it and pinching it, and I've done it, and I can feel the tightness, but I'm not getting any reaction out of him.
I have a funny feeling you're not doing it hard enough.
Okay. I almost think though that sometimes I'm too hard. Like I have to tell myself, because I have strong hands, and I go in, it's like, oh no, not so much pressure. That's too much. He's kind of a sissy. He's a big boy, but he is a sissy. I mean, not that I'm going to take it easy on him because I want this to go away, but this is just great. You guys, thank you for the input.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I were to just honestly, and to be completely straight, the neck might not be the problem.
I don't think the neck is the problem. I think the way he's carrying himself, the way he pops it up is how come we're getting that, because it's the back end.
Yeah, but I still think that all this is going to go away.
Yeah, it needs.
Okay.
It
But
needs.
it's going to be a process.
Mhm,
So, I mean, if I were going to run through the different steps that I would do, it's going to be crest pull, crest ring. I'm going to do rhomboid work. I'm going to do upper neck work. I'm going to do lateral flexion, which is going to be wild for this horse. Okay. That's in your later stuff. That's in your bonus. Yeah, it's hard. It's harder. It's the harder stuff I teach. So you'll run into that in the bonus. And I have a lot of videos on it. I would do a thumbs down here and go straight down this area. Thumbs down the front of that scapula.
Okay.
I would take my hand and press up
Yep.
into those corners. Okay.
Yeah.
I would do cross fiber friction on the
Yep.
splenius. I would do linear friction on the brachiocephalicus all the way
Okay.
down. And then I would squeeze that brachio.
Yep.
Squeeze
Did
it.
that.
Okay.
And I almost have to
So-
tilt it to me so that I can really get a hold of it.
Oh, 100%.
This is too tight. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, definitely 100%. Okay. So, I know that the line, oh, and then you could do skin rolls on these lines because that is fascia. There's no muscles that do that. That's not a muscle. That's a fascia.
Like, how often should you do this? I mean, is like every day too much? I mean, not that I don't know that I can do that every day, but what do you recommend?
I wouldn't really worry about you overdoing it. Every other
Okay.
day would be awesome.
Okay.
Do some pounds too. Fair amount of pounding. Because that's gonna take all this chunkiness out. Okay. There's also, actually, I'm not gonna say anything. We'll come back to it. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Okay. So this could be from a tight pull. It could be from the hind end. It could be from scapula. It could be from a ton of stuff. So we're going to slowly unwind his body. It'll be great. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at, oh, there's another picture. Okay. This one looks better actually. You can really see those lines though.
Yeah.
Same
I
day.
was just seeing if it was, if you saw any lumps from a different angle.
No, this one looks better than the first one. Yeah. So the first one is, but I want to see the lumps. I want to be like, oh, this is raw. This looks stuck, right? You know what I mean? That's supposed to be kind of flat there. Okay. All right. Sue, you're up. What do you see here?
Rhomboid and the brachia on this side too. I also would be concerned about the crest of the mane. I know I can't see it, but it looks tight.
What side looks better?
Between this side and the other side, I think this side looks worse.
Okay.
I would go in with some slapping and some pounding, especially up in that higher area as you get closer to the crest. I find that breaks up a lot of that tissue. And of course, she would be able to figure out which she would tolerate better, but it looks like it just needs to be pulverized.
Yeah. Tenderized.
Yes.
Okay. So now I want everyone to look at this, and then I'm going to have you close your eyes and I have you open them again. I don't want you to look at the stripes on the other side though. Okay. So take a look at this neck. Okay. Close your eyes. Open them. Close your eyes. Open them. Close your eyes. Open them. Okay. Anybody else see anything? You can unmute.
It's hollowed in on his left.
This side's hollowed in. The other side is bowed out. Look at that. It's bowed out like that. The other side's like this.
Wow.
Okay.
Isn't that where
this,
the wrinkles come from? The stripes are
Um,
wrinkles, yes?
maybe. I wouldn't cross it out. But look at how much that's, now that you're really focusing on it, look at how much this is bowed out. Okay, and then look over here, and now you're really going to see it. It's totally caved in right here. This is caved in. This is caved in. Okay. That's pretty wild. So lateral flexion, which is in your bonus material, Stephanie, it's gonna be wild. Videotape it. Because there's something going on, and I think the lateral flexion is going to help out a lot. But do a lot of work on him before you try, because he's just going to be like, I can't do this, you know. And I mean, I could be wrong. He could be like, I nailed this right out of the gate. Okay, so always leave that as an option. We never really know what we're talking about.
I was gonna say that on this side of the neck, the picture that you have on there now, if you were to take chalk lines where all the bulges and stuff out, it would define the specific muscles, and you could see how sucked in and tight it was if you were to outline it in chalk.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know, those little, they're like oil paint crayon things that I have. Like I could, you know, I could do a line there. I could do a line there. I could do the V shape here, right? So yeah, it's pretty wild. And then this would be just a circle because it's sunk in. Okay. So yeah, I mean, this side looks monstrous now that you're looking at it. It just looks huge. So, you know, after I do that lateral flexion, I might just put my fist here. Who was I just telling to do this? Oh, Jenny on Mac. But on Mac, I wanted her hand up here because he was restricted up higher. On Flash here, I'd want my fist here, locking my arm out and then bringing his head this way. That's even more advanced, Stephanie, though. You don't need to do that. Just work out what you got in front of you first. Okay. Anyone else? Pretty crazy. Okay. I went to a working equitation clinic this weekend. It was fun.
I had a comment just following up on Stephanie, because the whole side, one side is concave and the other side's bulging. I mean, I think the back end might be more of an issue because something's causing him to, you know, protect this side and, you know, stress this side. And it could be toward the back end. I mean, the next.
Don't jump ahead, Leanne. Don't jump ahead.
I'm sorry.
Don't solve these issues for us, Leanne. All right, Wanda and Marge. We're going to take a look at the hind end. Was that forward? I think it was forward. I had a hard time finding this. Like sometimes, oh, here it is. Okay, Marge, I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you 2 photos, and then I'm going to give Wanda a photo, and then I'm going to watch the video. I want to talk about the video. Okay, so Marge, other than that awesome looking tail, why is that tail so cool looking? What do you see, Marge?
Okay, he's higher on the left side.
Yeah.
It's you know, really going down on the right. And didn't she say he was kind of has a lameness on the right? In that, did I remember reading that? Yeah, it's a mystery lameness in his right hind. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but other than that, like if you saw this horse, you would probably be like, oh, that's a cool tail before you would say anything else though, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, what's wrong?
Yeah, he doesn't.
Right?
Yeah,
you would just kind of be like that, you know, that's a cool looking tail. This hawk right here is slightly out compared to this one.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is a pretty normal looking. But can you guys see that hawk is boop, boop, out that direction?
It's sticking out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So nothing too wild. I do think that he's quarter horse, right?
Yes, he is. Sorry.
Yeah. So this does not scream quarter horse butt to me.
Nope.
Nope. I mean, Pasifino, you know, walking horse, where the shape is just a little bit different. Like quarter horse, not all, because we've bred them they're all bred different now. But general, you got that quarter horse butt everybody talks about, right? You got that booty. Now this up here reminds me of my husband's bald head. It's very round. It's very round. Okay. So I mean, almost pointy at the SI. Okay. So that caught my attention where I was like, that's a very round, like pointy kind of booty shape. And if he would have been a different breed, I probably wouldn't have thought too much of it. But it just caught my eye a little bit. And then I saw that hawk a little bit. Okay, so nothing too wild about this photo though. And here's another one. Okay, nothing too wild. He doesn't look as pointy in this one, so it might have just been the angle. Okay. All right, so what do you see now, Marge? Because now we're at a higher angle looking.
Yeah, it's odd because he looks higher, a little more on the right now.
Excellent job.
Unless his
like
legs
right here.
are, unless he's moved, you know, unless his legs are in a different position or something.
I think this is the same
No,
photo.
I made very sure that he was square.
It was the same.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he does. He looks totally.
So yeah, so he's switched. So now this one was higher. Now this spot right here is bigger, right there. And there's a little divot right here.
Yeah.
You guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Then this is like a little, you know, we can't pick it apart too much because it's just a photo, but you know, so there's like some atrophy there. And then now this is up.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
It looks like the tail point is a little bit twisted to the left, like it's angled a little bit to the left instead of being straight down.
Don't steal Wanda's thunder here, Carrie.
Okay, sorry.
We're getting there. All right, let's take a look, Wanda. Okay. Is this the one I wanted to talk about? Okay, this is the one I want to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Wanda, you're up.
The tail is definitely not symmetrical at the top. And it almost looks like there's kind of a curve. Like the spine is kind of curving slightly to the right.
Huge curve.
And then now when you look at it, it's the right side does look more muscular. You look at the left side on the way down and you can see there's a little divot there. So whatever's going on, the musculature is not even right to left.
Yep. I want to pull this up because I want to mark on it. Okay, so here we are again. I wish this thing would move out of my face here. I got a bunch of screens going on. Okay, so if I were to, oh, there we go. That'll help. Edit this. I'm just going to do one thing and then I'm going to give it back to Wanda. Okay. Take that. So
Well,
I'm going to, this is the center of the tail here, right? Do we all agree? It's pretty clear.
Yeah.
That's the vertebra right there. Okay. I'm going to take that spot and I'm going to go up to the wither. Whoops. Sorry. Don't worry. That's fine. That's fine. It'll straighten out here in a second. Look at that. What on earth? Okay. That's what it should be.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's way off from that. And it almost looks like if you went straight up from the point of hip, I mean, you can see he's not exactly standing square, but it's like he's offset even up there at the SI joint.
Oh,
yep,
okay.
Right there, right there.
Here?
Put your
Right
cursor
here?
back up there. Nope, further north. Yeah. Now, if you made a cross out of that,
well, yeah. So I'm actually gonna do that. I'm gonna do it a little further forward because I'm gonna use the point of hip as the place to do that.
Yep.
Okay, so hold on, I gotta take that line back. If I delete one thing, it deletes everything. All right, so take it to that spot right there, straight, okay. That's slightly off, but we all know that it's off. Okay, so let's do it from the point of hip. Where's the point of hip? Right here. Now, where's this point of hip? I don't even know because it's hidden, but let's say it's right here. Look at that. Okay. What if I was wrong? What if I was wrong? And it's from here to here. Okay. This is his spine right here. So this is going straight to about here, I would say. And then something goes, you can almost see the shape of it, can't you?
Yeah.
Right? And then it goes, no, we're going to be straight from here to here. Okay. So somewhere in here, something has shifted. I mean, you could even say maybe it's just from here to here.
Yeah.
But look at all these lines, you guys. Doesn't that make it look like a lot more obvious now that you're looking at it? Okay. Look at the, should I get rid of these? I'm gonna get rid of these. So, okay. Look at the reflection of the hair. Look at that. That tells you something. This little triangle tells you something. This circular thing tells you this. Okay, so there's dark hair here and light here. Okay, this isn't equal. Okay, there's a line here. There's a line here. There's kind of a bulgy area here. Okay. Everybody see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he's pretty out of alignment. I mean, I'm sure we have muscle and skeletal stuff going on here.
Yeah.
This isn't
So
all muscle.
So would you think like a chiropractic session?
You're gonna need chiro, but you better do a bunch of muscle work first or you're wasting your money.
Okay, well, yeah, getting a chiro here is going to be really fun too, but
He looks
I mean,
S-shaped to me.
yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I want to see, and obviously we would want this horse to have the fastest possible recovery. So, right, if we were in the ideal, like if you were in Enumclaw, Washington, I'd be working on this horse 1 to 2 times a week, and you'd have a chiropractor on my butt as I finished. Okay. So I would be like, hey, I need to go see my man Flash. Cool. I'd do a session on him, full on session. And then I'd call the chiropractor and I'm like, when are you free? And then he'd be like, Friday. I'd be like, sweet, what time? 11? Cool. I'll be there at 9:30. And I'm gonna work that horse over, and then the chiropractor would come. Okay. So I would do like 2 body work sessions and then a chiro until his body's back where it belongs. But that's not the situation. Okay.
Yeah.
So now what we're gonna do is this is where I think that term, and I don't actually know the proper term of unwinding comes in, because this horse, if there is a horse, needs to be unwound. I mean, he looks wound up. Okay. And I don't know if that's the proper use of that term, so don't quote me on it. But like this would be fun. You know, this would be fun. So these are going to be your before pictures, Stephanie.
Yes.
And you're gonna live it through this horse. You're gonna see what
I
body
will
work
say, I will say the chiropractor is going to be a hard component. I did reach out. I got a phone number, and that was at the end of October. And she left me a message a week ago.
does. Oh,
So
I would So I would call her and say, give me your next appointment.
Well, she comes from Bozeman. I think that's the problem.
Okay. So
but
set it
I
up now.
haven't yet. Yeah, I will I'll try it.
Yeah. But let's get some work done before then.
The body work will be
Work
great.
done. And then the other thing I wanted to show on this, whoops, I don't need to go that way, do I? Let me go back here. The video.
Are you talking about the hind
The
end one?
hind end video. I don't know where it is.
You
Let me
made
find
a
it.
comment I was going to tell you. You said that's an interesting step. I kind of had him in a small area, and he is a big horse. He's all of 16 hands.
Oh, okay.
So I've done that before on him where he starts to rub, and he definitely puts my hand where he wants it. And he kind of sprawls out and he just arches his back. You know, I mean, he sinks it in. It looks like it's really not. He's loving it.
Oh yeah. No, he wants it. He wants it all, but I wanna pause this. Like he loves this.
See, he's trying
I
to
want to pause.
lower his hind end right there, but
Oh yeah.
he just couldn't get in the space because of the camera. I wasn't an open area for him to freely
Yeah,
move.
and it's right there where your hands are. But can you all see this giant bulge going upward like that?
Can I
That's
tell
the
you,
one.
he's always had in that spot, his back has always kind of been elevated there.
Look
And
at it though.
I've had him since he's 4. And so when I did take him to the vet, we thought maybe there was some changes. And we did x-ray that area to make sure there was no changes, specifically that bulgy area.
Okay, awesome. Look at it. It's from here. Whoops. It's from here to here. I mean, it's even the skin, the hair is even darker. Okay. This should not be in an upward bulge. That should be flush. Okay. So, I think that's muscular. I'm glad you had it x-rayed because it certainly could have been skeletal, but I think it's muscular because his hips are off. Okay. So the muscles have adapted. Did he have an accident or something?
I don't know. You know, the only thing I can think of is he took a spill maybe when it was icy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know that, but you know, it's not a horse that I ride often. And when I get on him, I ride him bareback and it's just walk him around. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's never been any marks like he's cut himself or anything. But that's what I have suspected, is that maybe he just slipped when it was really icy.
Yeah, it's interesting because was it this book that talked about that? That's really common. They slip. And they don't have to slip and fall. They can just slip and pull a muscle and then they're wonky. Yeah. And especially when it's icy out. And I know I've caught a couple horses after they've slipped because the hamstring was just like okay. So with the hind end, you know, you're not there. You're working on the neck. That's awesome. Keep working on the neck. We're gonna get to the hind end. You can go, one thing that I think would be fun is to just do the tail pull.
And I did do that Saturday. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. How did he respond to that?
He pulls. Yeah, he pulls.
He wants it more.
I mean, I'm not pulling as hard as I can all my weight.
Yeah. So there is a video that I think Nancy had requested where I show her how to kind of relieve tension on the point of hip where my hand is like here and it's pushing up this way and then my body's out this way. But I don't want you to do that yet because we got to loosen him up first. Okay.
And I'm curious, you know how I made a comment that like I had been working on his head area multiple times, like I did it 3 times. And then when I videoed it on Saturday, I had these huge releases. I'm wondering if it's just because it's so tight that it takes a while to get out. And maybe that's why he's not releasing so much on the neck, is because it's going to take a while for him to relax in order to let it out. Does that make sense?
100%. And it can definitely go either way. I think it's on the neck. It's because you haven't found it yet, because I think it's going to be lateral flexion.
Okay.
That does it. Lateral flexion at least will tell on it. Lateral flexion is going to be the little tattletale. It'll say, oh, no, no, that doesn't move that way. Oh, no, no. And it's going to be tricky because he's been moving like this for a while. So that might be something that you and I need to do a one-on-one with, or I want you to really research, look at like all my videos on it. So you have like a really solid idea of how I do it and different things that I run into and what they do when they throw their head and move around and try to fake you out. Because lateral flexion's a tricky one and they're good at getting around it. He's been getting around just fine. You know, he's been getting around. He could get a carrot if he wanted to.
Oh yeah.
Right? So he's gonna have the tricks up his sleeve because he's been hanging out like this. So watch all my videos on lateral flexion.
Perfect.
Because you're going to see a variety of horses and what they do and stuff. And then I'll say different things in different videos. Okay.
Yes.
Any questions, guys? You rock stars. You
I'm
OGs. I'm going to call you OGs from now on.
You guys, that was impressive.
Yeah, they are impressive. They're impressive.
That's great.
They're impressive. I knew it. Any questions? Okay. Awesome. So you know your homework's to invite a friend. Let me see. Here it is. Invite a friend. I love old photos like that. Look at her belt. She's stylish. My hair kind of looks like that today. I was doing some stuff like that. Yeah. So bring a friend to journey through the horse. It's always fun with friends. And then, yeah, try out some of those fascia moves. Okay. That's what I got for you. Thank you all for joining. Shoot some videos over. Keep it coming, Stephanie. Keep it coming, Jenny. That was fun watching Mac. All right. Right on, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.